Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Missy. Thanks for joining me again for another video. This one's for Hip Kit Club, and it's another one using the May 2015 Hip Kits. And for this one, I picked out these papers to start. I wanted to use that royal darker blue paper from Chicken Itty, some pinks, and some of the light teal color. And, I always have an idea in mind of what I want to start with, and it always changes. I very rarely finish a page of how it starts in my mind. So I wanted to try something a little different here. So I start with the triangle shape, and I'm going to use that light gray with the white triangles on it. I think that's one of the Amy Tan papers, and that's going to be my background. And so I'm just kind of playing around here. I wasn't sure I was going to stick with this triangle idea, but I keep playing around with it, and it kind of bugged me at first because the edges of the triangles did not match up with each other. See how they're kind of wonky and not lined up? I don't know, that kind of bugged me. And for somebody that likes messy, random things, that bugged me. I don't know, and it's kind of messy and random, but it still kind of bugged me. So I kind of keep it, but I kind of change it. So I'm going to use some of that pink paisley, I call it the lemon paper. I'm not sure the exact name of it, but it's in the main kit and the paper add-on kit. But it looks like lemons to me, and it's got a pop of yellow, so that's why I pulled that off. And I add in some of the vellum behind my photo, and I hadn't really planned on adding any yellow in at first, but then I thought, I need some yellow, so that's what I do there. And I wind up changing that, actually. I use one of the 6x6 papers here in a bit. So I decide I'm going to use that right there with the background, the blue piece, and I play around with those. And I like the pink on top of the teal a lot better. They seem to match up a little bit better. Oh wait, maybe I didn't. I thought I did. I made this on Sunday, and I'm just doing this on Tuesday, so clearly I forgot what I did. Okay, maybe the pink's in the back. That's okay. But they still don't match up, and that bugs me. So I decide to go in and add another half of this teal piece that I cut to make it a square or a rectangle instead of a triangle. But I don't want to use the piece that I cut off of it because it's got that bicycle on it, and my page doesn't really have anything to do with a bicycle. And I didn't want to use that. So I want to add in more yellow. So instead, I trace it onto the lemon paper and make it a square. No, it's not a square. It's a rectangle. Why do I not know my shapes? These are simple things. I'm having a blonde moment. That's not a square. Okay, I took the lemon piece off from behind the picture, and I'm going to use one of the 6x6 pieces from the embellishment collection, or the embellishment kit, and use the floral piece, and that's from Chicken Itty. And at this point, I'm thinking I don't like this at all, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. So I take in some white gesso, and I'm going to add in some ink, and I pull out that Mermaid Lagoon, which comes in the color kit, and I'm just going to do what I usually do and smush down some plastic right there and make a mess. And what this is going to wind up doing is covering up most of the yellow lemon paper. And it's going to defeat the point of me adding that in there for pops of yellow because I cover it up. And I realize that as I keep going here with the blue ink. And I love that Mermaid Lagoon color. That blue color is it is my favorite ink color, I think, of all the distress inks that I have. And I've got 3 or 4 different shades of blue, but this one is my favorite. So pretty. So I'm going to add in some more yellow, and I use that paint dabber, and that's from the color kit this month also. And I'm going to go in. Since I covered up a lot of the yellow lemon, I'm going to add in some more of this yellow here. And it did make a little bit of green, since yellow and blue make green, but that was okay. And at this point, well, not yet, but soon, you won't even be able to see much of the lemons on that paper there. But I do add some in at the end So you do get to see some lemons. Okay, that's the yellow dilutions from, I believe, last month's kit, or it might have been the March kit. I finally decide what's missing, and it needed a different color back there. So I pull in some orange, and that's from last month, April's embellishment kit. That's the 6x6 paper pad. I think it's the Dear Lizzie Rise and Shine paper pad. And it's just kind of a faded, pretty light orange. And I think that really helped that area there by adding that in. Now this comes from this month's color kit, that little stencil. There's 6 different ones. And this doesn't wind up turning out like I imagined. It's very subtle. I'm using that Mermaid Lagoon. It's the same color as I used in the beginning. And I just wanted to add a little bit of something different. And it kind of does. At this point, I'm still not thrilled with it, but I keep playing and keep adding. I do add a little bit more yellow. And see, now you really can't see any of the lemons back there, but that's okay. I'm liking where it's headed. The more I add to it. Now here's where I make a mistake, I think. I should not have put the blue over the orange paper. I don't like how that looks. So I take the little piece that I ripped off, and it just happened to work. So I just stick it on top of it because I didn't want the blue on top of the orange. It just kind of made a muddy color, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I covered that up, and you won't even be able to tell. Now I'm going to add in some splatters. I just dab the ink pad onto my plastic, spray some water, dip in my brush, and there you've got some liquid to splatter around, and that was pretty fun. I'm going to go in with my mustard seed. Now that's one that I've had from my collection that does not come in the kits. And I'm going to add in very, very subtle. You can't even really see it from here. I do go in with a couple of orange gelatos to add a little bit of different tones of orange. Not too much. And it kind of got muddy here with the blue. And this is where I was like chastising myself, because I know that when you add these colors together with distress inks, they react and they mix together. So I was thinking, why did you do that? But I keep messing with it. And the gelato right here helped a lot. And it winds up looking okay in the end. But at the moment, it's just one of those layouts that I kept getting frustrated. And I kept saying, why did you do that? Why are you doing this? This is not good. This is not good. So I had to step away for a bit and come back, and I think I wind up salvaging it. Because to me right now it's almost looking like a hot mess, but I do want to add in some stamps, and those stamps are from this month in the color kit, and they're the Chickanitty stamps, and I'm still using the Mermaid Lagoon ink. And something happens after I stamp this that I really, really love the result. And once I do it, it made me start really loving the page. And it's just something simple. But, so I'm just randomly stamping some triangles. And this is the cool part. I want to blend in some of the edges so they look messy and watery. And I really love how this turned out. I just take my brush with a little bit of water, and since they're distress inks, they blend and they bleed. And I really love how that turned out. I was kind of getting excited at this point. So the stamps, you can still tell that they're triangles, but they look kind of messy and like water was spilled on them, and they kind of got bled out a little bit. And I love how that looked. I did add some stitching. I added around the rectangle and some zigzags under the picture there, and added another little pink strip of paper to add another little pop of pink. And what have I got going there? Some thread. Yeah. I think I pop dotted up my picture too. So now I'm going to add in some stuff to the right lower corner to make a cluster. And at this point, I'm more satisfied with the page. But I had a different idea in my mind when I started. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, this layout looks like every other layout you make. And that's okay, but I always in my mind start with something different, and I always gravitate toward, my photo cluster and everything that's going on with the picture, and then on the other side or down below or up top, there's always another cluster, and that's okay, but I I do set out in my mind to try something different, and this one kind of just reminds me of all the other pages that I've made, and while I still wind up like how it turned out, I still wanted it to look a little different. Does that make sense? And I know it's just scrapbooking. It's not the end of the world, but that's how my brain works sometimes. So I took the Mermaid Lagoon, and down there in that corner, I did not add any gesso. And as you can see, the color looks a little different than the part by the picture where I did use gesso. So gesso does affect the color of some things. And it's not a big deal because I did go over it with some gesso. And you don't even really wind up seeing that much of the ink that I added down there. But I did notice a change right away when I did the packaging over there, and I had not added the gesso because it seeped straight into the paper, and it made it appear a little darker. I don't wind up using that little chipboard frame that I took off. I did a lot of playing around when the camera was turned off because this took me forever. So I do the stamping and the blending with the triangles down there at the bottom and add some more of the Dylusions yellow splatter. And now I'm going to play around with the title. And I'm going to use that ampersand, which is from Pink Paisley, and it's transparent, and it's like a teal color. It's really pretty. So I'm going to glue all that down, and I wanted to use a mix of things for the title. I wanted to use that So Pretty from the Pink Paisley chipboard sheets, and I wanted to use those rainbow thickers. And my title's not that original. It's going to say, "This Grin is so pretty and awesome," I think. So I mix and match with the rainbow thickers, and I'm going to use the Chickanitty blue alphas to match the blue heart and the blue star paper. And then I'm going to come back in with those Chickanitty enamel letters in the lime green that say awesome. And I had to glue everything down. Or not everything, but I had to glue down the So Pretty because of all the mixed media behind it. It did not want to stick. So, and I also used those wood grain puffy stickers for the word is, and those are really cute. So that's my mix and match title. Not original, but I like the fact that it's long and it kind of comes down vertically and connects to that cluster in the right. And I color up some of the wood veneer again with the dabber. I did that on one of my previous layouts with the yellow. And I'm just adding in some little doodads. I do go in with the stencil down there again at the bottom. And I'm going to add some orange, a couple of orange little arrows. These little stencils are really fun, and they add the perfect little touches here and there, especially with the distress inks or the dabbers. Works really nicely. And now I'm just going to go in with these little Embellishing stickers, add a couple here and there. And it's little dots and little hearts, little cameras, arrows, stars. Cute little pieces to add in here. I couldn't figure out where to put that camera. What is it with me and cameras? Cameras always give me trouble. Add a little bit of journaling because it's just a cute picture of Paige looking cute, so I didn't really have a huge story to tell. I take a pink Sharpie and go over the word Grin, and I added some more stitching, some thread, and I did cut out some more lemons, as you can see there scattered around the page. And then I pulled a little sticker from a Webster's Pages sheet. I think that's from last month's kit because it matched the pink. And then I added in a piece of the washi tape that says, "Let it shine," and I used pop dots. And that's the end. And that's how it turned out. I like how it turned out. At first, it gave me trouble, but I stuck with it. And hopefully you guys like it. I hope I didn't drive you crazy with my randomness putting this together. But I appreciate you watching. My 500 subscriber giveaway is still going on till the end of this week. So I hope you guys will help caption my photo. And I will be back later on. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your comments and your likes. And I will see you again next time. Have a good day.